Hey there, planners. Today I'm going to do a flip through of the in real life B6 Stalogy Summer Planner that I've been using for the past couple months. This is a look beyond the pretty photos and the nice setup spreads. This is the scribbly marks and actually how I am using this planner. I thought it might be interesting for you to see the in real life view. So go grab your planners and let's get planning. All right, so if you missed the initial setup of this planner, I'll have that and all of the supplies that I used and other supplies that I find as I flip through listed down in the description box below. If you see something in this planner that I have not listed down below and you have a question about it, just let me know in the comments. But if you want to check out the original setup, I'll have that and a couple of other monthly setup videos all linked down below. So I thought it would be interesting for you to see how am I actually using this planner. Just flipping through and showing you the pages, what I find handy, what I tried but maybe didn't necessarily work, just a view of those kind of things. It is about midway through July right now, and I think I have made the decision to finish up. I'm almost done with this. I have a few pages, probably a third of the pages left, but I'm starting to get that hump where it's getting kind of full and chunky. And I think I have made the decision to start a new planner for August, September, and October, and I'm starting to gather some supplies and do some brainstorming about how I want to set that up and what format. So definitely make sure you're subscribed and stay tuned for that, because that will be coming very soon. I'm also thinking about doing a video on kind of my process for how I plan the next planner, but I just think it'll be nice to have kind of moving into fall, beginning of school year, moving into fall, a separate planner for that, and then kind of looking at the holidays at the end of the year as a different issue. So with that, I'm going to start flipping through. I have talked about what's in my pocket cards, in my pockets before. Some of these are just images that I got off Pixabay and laminated. Some of these are little characters from Plan So Cute. This is from Coffee Monster Co. It was a freebie. And then I have these, which are from Planning with B. These are freebie little mini calendars. So just lots of freebie stuff in here and fun stuff to kind of decorate for summer. And then I thought this would be really fun, sort of vinyl holographic. This is Cricut vinyl holographic material for the front cover. All right, and then getting into here, year at a glance. I like to have these just for reference. Quite honestly, I never use this page. I never come back to this. It just doesn't, I don't know why. I like having it, maybe for this type of thing, for flipping back through, or, you know, for a couple years from now, I can easily flip in and see, oh, this is 2022, but I don't really functionally use this page. This page is a vellum that I made, printable vellum. I printed on this vellum. And I really love this. Summer breeze makes me feel fine. I asked when I set up the video, let me know if you know where that comes from, because it tells me you're in my age group or you listen to the type of music that's in my age group. And then 2022 here, this is just a image pasted down. Then I go into monthly calendars. So I went ahead and put all 4 monthly calendars for this summer. And I did May, June, July, and August. I have really liked having all of the monthly calendars right here up front, and I tabbed them out with these little tabs. And in the planner, when I get to the month, I don't set up a full monthly calendar because I'm using this. This has been a really nice format and setup for me to have all my monthlies together already set up so that I can easily come in and pop things in as they're occurring, or as a future log. So this has been really, really handy. I have liked this, and I will probably try to use some format of this in the future, because just having them all set up here has been really nice. I'm using sticky notes where I'm not sure things are going to happen. It's a little bit of a scribbly mess. You can see that I've had to white out some things, but this has been really, really functional for me. And these I believe these printables, actually I'm not sure where they're from. It's from an Etsy shop. I'll have it linked down below because I can't remember right now where they came from. All right, next up I had a goals section. You can see I did not do very well filling out my goals section. I did the month of May, but I did not come back to this. I'm just handling goals in a different way. But it was nice to have this here, you know, if I was going to use it, which I did 1 month. But all right, vellum here. Blank page for goal notes, obviously did not need that. I made the comment in a previous video that, you know, sometimes I get so ambitious with the initial setup. I put all these great pages in and, you know, here's a shop codes tracker. Seems like a great idea. You know, an add to planner list seems like a great idea. Didn't use them at all. Never came back to them. Actually kind of forgot they were even here until I'm doing this flip through. So, you know, I guess I need to keep that in mind when I set up my next planner. Maybe not to get so ambitious with those front pages. I love planner setup. It's really fun, but you know, these just did not turn out to be very functional for me. This is a vellum that I made, little palm tree icons. Okay, this is probably one of the most used pages in my planner, and I have it tabbed here. This is a list of reoccurring to-dos and tasks. I have a whole video on how to set this up and how to use this. I'll have that linked for you down in the description box. But basically what I have are a list of monthly and quarterly tasks, a list of weekly tasks, and a list of daily tasks. Every time I set up a week, every time I set up a month, many times on a daily basis, I will come back. That's why it has this really bright, big tab here. I will come back here and reference this list because these are the things, these are those little things that have to occur on a regular basis that we just tend to forget, and they're hard to hold in your head. Like, you might be able to hold a few of them, but you could never hold all of them. And you all have a list like this of things that just have to occur on a regular basis. And so this tool is part of my planning system in every planner that I set up. I set it up over and over again because these lists do change. Different things come on and off depending on the season of life, you know, the time of year, things like that. So I really encourage you, go watch the video on this and consider setting this up for yourself because this is really handy to have in every planner that you have. This is an Avery tab, but I did use my little Dymo label maker and put a label on here on both sides that just says task. This is the beginning of the month of May. I do like to have sticky notes, and I will, I don't waste these sticky notes at the end of the planner. I'll come through and pull all the sticky notes off that I didn't use so that I can use them in the future, but I had more sticky notes here. I pull from them throughout the month or throughout the week, and I use them, and you'll see how I use a bunch of those. This is a acetate that I made myself. I used the Cricut to make some hollow jellies, and then I just love this, surrounded by jellies. I think that's so cute. Okay, beginning of the month of May, and the beginning of every month, I always start out with a brain dump just to try to get everything out of my head, what I need to do. I'm actually going to do a Sunday reset here coming up, and you'll see a little bit more in that video about how I use my brain dump. You'll see I have the tab, you'll see tabs all the way through here. The way I use these tabs is I go ahead and make the tab. It's an Avery tab, and then again I use my label maker and just put the name of the month on both sides of the tab. As I'm going through the month, I move this tab to the day that I'm on every day. At the end of the month, I will come back and put it on the front page, so that way I know where May starts or where June starts. So that's how I use the tab. I started out with a skincare routine. This was actually really handy in the month of May. I was doing a lot of changes to my skincare routine, and I wanted to have a list of that. I thought I would make some notes. I ended up not making notes here, but more in the daily pages. But this was really handy for me, and I'll have this printable link down below where I got it from. Okay, project task list. It's not that I didn't work on projects in May, it's just that I didn't use that list to work on projects. And then I put this little, this is another Cricut holographic design of a little girl on her surfboard, and then I used a weekly setup this week. And you'll see these every now and then. I will pull in a weekly setup, particularly when I have a lot of things to do, like I did this week. There was just a lot going on, and so I went ahead and pulled in a weekly setup, and then have my meal plan and grocery list. I love to carry this little guy. It's perfect size to set on my purse in the buggy at the grocery store, and actually use this for shopping. So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to set this planner up in the first place, because my Hobonichi cousin was getting so fat and chunky that I couldn't really carry that around anymore. So this was really great for just keeping track of grocery list and being able to take that with me. All right, here's why I love using a notebook as a planner. So after I set up the week and the grocery list and all of that, I decided I was doing a little bit of research on vitamins and supplements, and I just wanted to take some notes. So I love being able to just turn the page in a notebook and start taking notes on something, or using that page for whatever it is that you need that page for. And that's exactly what I've done here. Actually, I had 2 pages worth of notes that I was taking. I was watching a video and reading some articles on vitamins and supplements, doing some research for myself, and I just wanted to capture those notes. A lot of times, for me, may be true for you, but for me, when I write something down, that's how I remember it. I don't know that I'll ever need to come back to this necessarily. Maybe I will, but just the fact that I'm writing it down really helps me absorb the information and remember it. And so that's why I need it. And I love being able to just turn the page and do that as needed. All right, then we had the next week. In the month of May, I had a lot going on. So again, I set up a weekly. Whereas this one was a 1-page weekly view. This one is a 2-page weekly view. And again, I'll have all of those listed down below. You can see how I'm using my sticky notes in here for different meal plans, different lists, just popping them in here, trying to keep up with everything that's going on. And I actually felt like this week was so busy that I felt like I needed dailies. And so I went ahead and set up dailies, not for the whole week. I started on Wednesday, but I had a lot going on, so I felt like I needed dailies. Now you will see I continue to use dailies. Actually, I love using dailies. Dailies are so handy. But you'll see that I kind of set up dailies the exact same way throughout the whole planner. And that is having one column for scheduled items, timed items, events, appointments, things like that, and one column for to-dos. And then I kind of leave the bottom section for any specific items or decoration. Sometimes I'll put decoration down here. I leave notes to put, place to put sticky notes in. That's kind of the general setup that I use for all of my daily pages, and you'll see that as I flip through. I am using some stickers in here. I typically put the weekend on one page because there's a little bit more flexibility in the weekend for my to-do list. I can do things on Saturday or Sunday as long as I get them done, by Monday. So typically you'll see I have the weekend on one page. So there's another grocery list. And yes, my grocery list is organized in the order that the aisles occur in my grocery store. I've been going to the same grocery store for, 7 years now since we moved to this house. And so I know the order of the grocery store, and I like to have my items listed in order. So that is what you see going on here. No judging. All right, more dailies. And this time you can see I didn't actually use a weekly. So I go right into the next week just using dailies. And I'm just flexible. This is the great thing about having a notebook is you can change the layout depending on what you need. Here I actually took the weekend and I split it horizontally. So Saturday and Sunday, I had a lot going on. This was actually the weekend that my daughter graduated. So there's just a ton going on. So I actually needed the space to be able to divide it up. Another grocery list. And then this was the first time I used this spread in this planner, and I really, really liked having this. So this was kind of an end of the week wrap up where I set up a page specifically for next week. and went ahead and put the dots in. Now you can see I didn't use it a ton here, but I liked having the space available, because when I was at this point in the week, in the month, all of these pages were blank, right? So there wasn't like a next week setup already there that I could go put items in. So it was just nice to have a place to dump items that I needed to reference for the next week. All right, and then next up, I had some Planning Annie planning spreads. Probably going to blur this out. But basically I have a videos list ideas, and then the monthly calendars with filming dates and actually what videos I want to post when. So I do put that in here every now and then, just as a spread that I like to reference. I had foods that are good for weight loss, just making a list. That's why I love notebook planners. You just turn the page and use it for whatever you want, and it keeps everything in a single notebook. It can be a little messy, and sometimes, it depends on your planning style. If you like things to be very ordered and every page to be clearly assigned and you know exactly where to turn to get to everything, this may not be the style for you. For me, the flexibility of being able to turn the page and put whatever I need there, even if it's a blank page, that's really important for me. Okay, now heading into June, I have it tabbed out here and just set it up really simply, just an image. And I added, this was an image from Pixabay, and I added this in marker, and then popped in the Planning with B freebie there. I did a brain dump at the beginning of the month. Really like to have this. It helps me come back and check what things are done and what things I need to do. And then had a meals calendar by the month. I like having a monthly view of meals because it helps me plan a little better. And so instead of doing it on a weekly basis, just doing it on a monthly basis, I actually drew this in. These are just, yellow squares. I used zebra mild liners to draw this in, but having that monthly view. And then I love being able to come back to these and see, what were we eating last year in June or in the summer when I need summer meal ideas, things like that. So, and then I had a workout tracker, but I ended up moving it to a different spot. So I started it here, but I ended up moving it to a different spot. Blank page with a vellum. Not sure what I was thinking about doing with this page, but obviously that didn't happen. And then I went right into dailies. So again, same setup for my dailies. I had today appointments, things like that, and then to-dos, same setup. You can see I started using a little bit more decor, a little bit more stickers in my dailies, but just plenty of room to write. There's my very small. You can see that I set up the grocery list ahead of time so that I can just fill it in as I go. I really like to have this set up at the beginning of the week. That way I can add things in as they come to me, because I am constantly thinking of things that need to go on the grocery list. Or, as soon as I run out of something, I want to make sure I put that on the grocery list so I don't forget it. So I like to have this here, but obviously my grocery list is really tiny this week for some reason, probably because my kids were traveling and we just cook a lot less when the kids aren't here. All right, so here's that next week's spread. Really like having that so that when I'm setting up the next week, I have that to reference. More daily pages. The way I love popping sticky notes in, as needed as I go through. You can see some days barely have anything on them, whereas other days are, kind of jam-packed, and that's okay. That's, that's just, I'm fine with that. There's my next week spread. And then I did set up this whole section here just for notes about my daughter's move to college and all the things we needed to do, checklist, things like that. That's been really handy, and I'm still using that. All right, here's the next week of dailies. And really love just having daily pages. Love being able to flip back through and see little notes as well. It helps me with my journaling because I will make little notes about what's going on in that day. Another grocery list, next week's spread, and then not much going on here because I was sick. I had a little sickness going on in the middle of June, and not much planning going on. So vacation planning, I knew I was getting ready to go, we were getting ready to go on vacation as a family, and so I knew I needed some space, so I did meal planning, shopping list, and then packing list. Lots of sticky notes on top of stuff here, lots of planning that way. So this was really handy to have in my planner. I used a one-page weekly here, and then into the dailies. This was on vacation, so I was not planning on vacation. So while the spreads are nice, I did not use them at all because I was vacationing. Grocery list, next week, and then just had, so this is a great example. I needed to take some quick notes. I was setting up a family Google calendar and making some changes to that calendar, and I just needed a place to take notes. So now we're into July. This is a acetate that I made using holographic vinyls from Cricut, and then just put it over this image from Pixabay. Here is the meals, monthly meals, and you can see since we're still in July, I have this tabbed, so it's really easy to get to when I'm meal planning. This is July brain dump. And I continue to add to this. Like I just added a couple of these within the last couple days, so I keep this as a kind of a running list for July. Got a weekly, dailies, more dailies, very busy weekend, grocery list, 2 grocery lists. Yeah, so we were coming back from vacation and I needed to grocery shop at a weird time, and then my regular grocery shopping at the end of the week. And then more Planning Annie content ideas. This was another setup. I had gone really far with the other one, so I felt like I just needed a fresh start, and I keep this tab to get to throughout the month. Started taking some notes about my next planner, thinking about the next planner as I was coming to the end of this one, taking some notes and ideas. I don't want to share any of that, so I will have this all blurred out. You'll have to wait and see. And then this brings us up to the current week that just occurred and grocery list. And that is pretty much to current in this planner. So I hope you got some ideas from this. I hope you got some inspiration. I hope it was helpful to see, how the planner is being used in real life. A lot of times we see setups and before the pen, but what does it actually look like to use the planner? So I hope that was helpful for you. Hope you got some ideas. I would love to hear your ideas. How do you use your notebook planner? Are there any questions that you have about things you saw in here? So if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Planning Annie for more content like this. And as always, thanks for planning with me.